Hey, welcome to another episode of the Travel Winds podcast. Today, my guest is tenor, singer, and percussionist Ronnie Moss. All right, today, Ronnie.
Great, great. How are you?
I'm having a great day. It's getting near the
That's
end of the year,
good.
so I'm
That's
actually,
good.
I'm actually traveling a little bit less, so it's kind of nice.
Oh, good, good,
Yeah.
good.
Well, good for the wife. I get all the projects done that I said I'd get done when I get home. So
Yeah, exactly. I
yeah.
know how that goes.
So you've been singing with the Spinners, the 2023 Hall of Fame inductee Spinners group, which is
Right, right.
congratulations for being such a
Thank you.
part of that for the last 10 years. But then
Yes.
you've been musically inclined for a few more years than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Yep, a
We're not
few
going to
more
date
years.
ourselves here, but yeah, a couple of decades here or there, give or take.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it exactly, exactly.
So I'm so thankful to have the time, but interested to talk to you about. You get to travel for the Spinners. You're doing a lot of the cruise shows, literally around the country, and like we talked about before, is Hawaii, and get to travel a lot. But then you also get to do your own projects. So it's kind of nice that you're still being able to do your solo projects while keeping the Spinners legacy alive. How's that for you?
It's good. I mean, I've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
I started I don't know, I probably started about 4 or 5 years after high school, and then I got into to the recording part, and then I started doing studio work with different artists in a lot of major studios. I started doing a lot of background vocals for them. Then I got into writing, and then it just progressed from there.
It's just I think you're the perfect person to speak with about how the music industry has changed over the last several decades.
Oh, definitely,
I mean,
definitely.
your latest album, which I just bought, it's pretty. It's Baby Lay Back. I was gonna try and
Oh,
show it to you, but yeah,
oh, okay. Wow.
yeah, man.
Okay.
The you're doing the crooning. I love the you obviously do the I don't know how you guys call it in the band, but the smoky Robinson edition of your little break out there to show your tenor falsetto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that a long time. I mean, that's kind of like a natural thing for me singing that way. And I got with on that project I got with a great guy John, um and he kind of like, he was like, "Man, you need to do this, you need to do that." And so I said, let's try it, And matter of fact, that was the second album I did during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like that, kind of like a lot of artists during the pandemic. We all had uh, downtime.
I was gonna say
Nobody was,
yeah,
yeah,
you had home time.
we had home time. Yeah, exactly. And so I have my own studio at my home, and then during that time, that's when uh you really started using your studio, and I didn't have to leave my home.
Yeah.
And and so I started collaborating with other musicians, and that's exactly how we came up with it. We were able to send ideas uh to each other, never had to leave home, so that was so nice.
I was
And
gonna
that's how
say
we did that album.
it's pretty cool because you could talk to your guitar player and say, hey, no, hit it more like this, or
Right,
this, and then
right.
they send you the file and you put it together. And
Exactly. That's exactly how we did it. It was so cool how we did that.
obviously you're not pigeonholed, but you play a lot of the classics with the Spinners, even though you have your
Yeah.
new album with them as well. But
Yes.
your solo project, a lot of heavy jazz influence, jazz
Yeah.
jazz guitar, you know,
Yes. Yes.
comes out
Yes.
pretty easily, especially in the first opening track.
I love jazz,
Yeah.
and that's uh, man. Sometimes I just fall asleep on jazz. It relaxes me, and and I listened to it so much through the years until I actually started doing riffs like, guitar players and piano players. I started doing the same riffs and just started, and my ears is tuned to those jazz chops,
Yeah.
and so that's how it kind of reminds you of it.
Yeah, you definitely had some Al Jarreau influence, and then
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
kind of George Benson-y. It was nice.
Uh-huh. Yep. Thank
That was
you.
actually George Benson was my first concert my whole life.
Wow.
I think I was 13. It was in San Diego and breezing
That's
it just after breezing. And I was just like, all right. My buddy wanted to go. I'm like, all right, just a kid.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never met George, but I almost got a chance to meet him on the cruise this year, the Soul Train cruise,
Hmm.
and he called in sick, and he didn't do it.
I almost had him on the show,
Okay.
on my show. And I was just like, I was close, but he ended up not doing press. Maybe he was sick. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 So it's just one of those guys that you kind of, you hope to meet. Now that's kind of the same way. Even though you're in the spinners and you've been singing,
Right.
you're still George Benson.
I still, yeah, I still get starstruck. So I mean, when I meet people that I had been listening to through the years, through high school, through the years, and when we're on the same show with them,
Yeah.
it's like I can't believe it kind of thing. So I mean, I actually have a wall just full of photos that I've taken with so many people, from Gladys Knight to
Yeah.
you name it. Yeah.
That's pretty cool with the opportunity that the spinners kind of gives you because obviously they just got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Right.
saw the new edition uh collaboration that they did.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Kind of helps
That
them out with their new tour coming out. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they did a wonderful job. They did a wonderful job.
did they get the
Yeah.
steps right, or did they do their own steps?
I noticed that they did use a few of our steps, but then they added their own with them,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. Yeah. Yeah. Which was pretty cool.
How many days a year are you on the road for the spinners right now, on average?
On average, we do probably average of I don't know, 70 shows a year.
So that's 70 shows, but travel days is probably what 140, 150 more.
It feels like more.
Yeah.
I I
Well,
am
I know
not
it feels
kidding
like
you.
more.
But it feels like more. I would imagine we were on the road. Like you say, maybe 160 days
Yeah.
out the year. Yeah, we're gone. We're actually gone.
And the other interesting thing is, I know CJ's in Vegas, Jesse's down in Houston, you're in Georgia. I don't know where Marvin is, but
He's in Michigan.
okay. So all four different states, and yet you guys,
All four different states, and Henry and Henry was in Michigan as well.
yeah,
And then the band, our band, the ensemble, they're in Detroit.
yeah. And Jesse just moved down to Houston. He was in Detroit too. So,
Yes, yes, uh-huh.
but it's still interesting that you guys are like, okay, we're gonna meet here. That's who does your planning, your booking.
We do so many shows, and I mean, just like we just did Seattle, and we did 6 shows in Seattle.
Yeah,
And then before Seattle, we came, we were in um, we were in Oregon, Bend, Oregon, and then right before Bend, Oregon, we were in California.
yeah.
So we had a real good run the last 10 days.
I was gonna ask you because you have to hit the high notes.
Hmm.
Are you does the climate affect your voice at all? If it's more humid or drier, like when you go to Las Vegas areas, or
No, no, I never run into that. Um, but you can feel higher elevation sometimes when you're in higher elevation areas, but
Yeah.
not really, not now. I'll tell you sometimes what's effective is when you're in the higher elevation, the air is shorter. The air is shorter to
Yeah.
breathe. So sometimes you may have a little issue with your breathing uh hitting notes um or holding notes as long. But other than that, no, I don't.
There you go. I'm always curious about that kind of stuff. It's like I know like bass players and some of the instruments will dry out and no,
Right,
they'll change it a little bit.
right. You definitely will feel a little different, but you just make you have to push harder, that's all.
I guess that helps having a couple of years of experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, How do you feel your travel time? Which I mean, when you're flying all that much and then sitting around waiting for sound checks and all that, how do you fill up your time?
For me, I I'm a runner and I love running where we go. I like to run, get out and run. And I do a lot of that. I do sightseeing, stuff like that.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I was
That's
gonna,
basically.
are you
Hmm.
ever working on your other projects too?
Yeah, sometimes I take my little portable studio with me, and I do I do a lot of I do pretty decent writing in hotels. I'll sit down and I'll spend maybe a couple hours messing around with some grooves and some lyrics and stuff like that. Yep, I'm always doing that. So which I have to that makes me have to carry a little bit extra stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
But if
Hmm.
you're running, you're in shape. You got it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's all
That
good.
is true.
Yeah. Out of all the places you've traveled with so far, what's been the most influential city or area that you've been to? Can you think of anything that's just been a major influence to you?
Yeah. One place I've never forgotten is we did a show with the Boston Pop Orchestra in Nantucket, and that was something I never ever forgot. That was just an amazing show for me, uh, performing with the orchestra.
Just like because of the sound of the band of the orchestra.
It's the sound. It's actually like they took your body and put you inside the actual record
Oh, that's cool.
because everything, and then you feel it. When I don't know if you ever noticed this, when you go near an ocean and you walk real close and it's quiet, it almost seems like it's just uh it just blows your mind just looking at the water and the motion of the water.
Yeah.
Being around the orchestra was the same way. All the actual instruments, from the cellos, the violins, the horns, different things like that. And you actually hear those guys just playing every note perfect that was on the record. You just something you can't, it's you can't really explain it.
I live about a half mile away from the ocean, so we go down there quite often. And my wife and I we'll go down at night and just sit down and just go sit down.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the
No one
feeling.
around, pitch black.
Yeah, that's the feeling right there. Yep. Yeah,
Is
that was one of my places.
is it different? I'm just curious because obviously I've never been on stage during an orchestra show, but
Hmm.
and I've been to the Hollywood Bowl where they had the orchestra, and but obviously I'm further away. Is it just that much different being right in the middle
Yeah,
of the
it
stage?
is. It is. When I first did it, I'll never forget when I think that was my first orchestra, I think, because we've done several, but I think that one was the first one, and it was it was actually scary. It was like it was just because you're right in the middle of it.
That's
So
what I
when
mean.
you hear it, yeah, you right in the middle of it, and they're playing every. It's like you feel what they're playing. You know, you actually feel it, and that's just an amazing feeling.
Well, you guys got to get some more of those set up then.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I love it. I certainly hope so. It happens. You know that it happens.
What's your favorite? Like, uh, I didn't know if it'd be Hawaii, but I was kind of curious. What's your favorite place to play and why? Is
We
there?
did we did the Big Island
Yeah,
the first year we went. We did Honolulu, and we left Honolulu and went to the Big Island, and it, it was so beautiful there. It was absolutely picture beautiful, and that was one of my favorite places as well.
yeah. We actually like the Big Island more.
Yes, yes, I like it much more, much more.
Oahu reminds me of home, and I don't need that when I'm on vacation.
Uh-huh, exactly,
It's like it's
exactly.
just crowded, Waikiki Beach and all that.
The funny thing is when we went we had to actually take a small flight to the Big Island,
Yeah,
and then when we got there, we drove. Um, they drove us to the actual resort, and everything was black. Everything was, you probably know, everything was just like burnt.
yeah.
And then when you turn up into the resort, it's like it's just beautiful.
It's like they turn on the color TV all of a sudden.
Yeah, they turned the color. Yeah, yep.
And it's the Big Island's like that. It's you have the Hilo side and then you have the Kona side, and
Hmm.
it's like two different islands. It's like two different worlds because
Okay.
The Hilo side's more of the green, lush, tropical jungle side, and then the
Yeah.
Kona side is the drier side with a lot of the volcanic rock and all that.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
Well, this year we did we did Maui, and then we came to Honolulu, so it was different this year.
still you're struggling. Fighting between Maui and Oahu.
Yeah.
That's a long flight for you guys, though. I mean, that's an 11-hour flight from Atlanta, 11, 12-hour flight.
Yeah. 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 It was. We flew straight too.
Oh, that's a good flight. Wait, is that the longest flight you've had so far with the group, or
That's the longest. Yes, that's the longest flight I've had. Yeah.
because even go to Europe would be faster than for you guys?
Could be. Yeah. I think so. I think so.
'Cause I mean, from California, it's almost 5.5-hour flight to Hawaii. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
you're buzzing. What are you? Do you have any go-to things that when you're on the road, i.e., sleep mask? Do you have? Yeah, you said you run, so that's obviously just a health factor for you.
Yeah, that's my go-to is the running, and I try to, as long as I know it's safe, uh, I run. I do like a couple miles. I used to be a real long distance runner, but now I'm happy if I do two, because I got to save my knees for the stage, you know. But I love running, and especially in the morning, early in the morning, and it's amazing because I actually uh I'm intrigued with a lot of the homelessness,
Yeah.
and I see it. I run right past it, and it's just amazing how I just ask myself, wow, that's amazing to see in each city how it's so big, you know,
I live in Los
homeless.
Angeles, so I'm overly aware.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. And we were just in, as I said, Seattle, and I just didn't realize
Seattle's
Seattle had.
different too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it is really something.
Portland's got it bad too. Parts of Portland
Portland. Oh, okay. Okay.
downtown, it's just like Seattle downtown. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. But that's kind of like my go-to. Um, basically, yep.
Do you have any? Do you do you consider diet at all when you're on the road? Because I know for I mean for me it's always tough trying to eat clean because a lot of times you're just going.
It's hard. It is hard. It's hard. I try to stick to a regimen, but believe me, you'll go off if you don't pay attention. You
Yeah.
will, because you walk into the dressing room and then they have a spread, and then before you go home they give you a spread in a box, and then um, but I try my best not to overindulge. I try, Yep, I
How,
really do.
how's balancing your home life with being gone 200 plus days?
It's not bad because I come home and I have a garden, and I love to go in my garden, and we grow veggies and stuff like that. So um I get a lot of relaxed time working outside, um and then in my studio, and but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. My wife, she of course she picks and chooses where she want to go, but
Yeah, we've had that talk.
you know, yeah, she does that, but uh, it's not bad at all.
There you go. And she's okay with you being gone that much?
Yeah, yeah, she doesn't. We spend time when I'm home. We spend time together, and and but yeah, she's used to it through the years. She's
I
used
was gonna
to
say
it.
that's got to me that's I feel like maybe it's just the way I justify it. I go, I feel like I'm more home when I'm home because I
Yeah,
appreciate it being, you know, and I have friends that go to work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then they come, 2 hours of driving in LA traffic, and they're burnt, they're tired, they don't spend that much
yeah.
time at home anyway. So
Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. That. Oh my God, if I had to do that, I don't know what I would do. You know. Oh
I
God.
hear you. I think people, I appreciate the people that do that because I couldn't do it either. Yeah. But they look at me and they go, oh, I can't imagine being gone that long, or I couldn't imagine being on the road for a week or 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, but
Uh-huh.
imagine doing the same job every day of
That's
my
it.
life.
That's it. Just having to do that. In every state we go to, there is a city that traffic is just crazy, crazy. And you see people losing it, driving crazy. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah, road rage is a little different here in California. Yeah, they had shootings for a while, so people were getting so mad they were shooting the other people.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah.
I had a road rage happen right in front of me. Well, not right in front of me, but I was in the traffic. They got off and they started fighting, and the guy threw the other guy into traffic, and the car ran him over and killed him. So
Wow,
one guy's dead, and the other guy's in jail for murder, all over road rage.
wow,
Like, dude, you
wow.
just gotta relax. But yeah, I mean, Atlanta's bad, Vegas is getting bad, Nashville's got some terrible traffic. Detroit's not too bad. That's where my wife's from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's because some of the bigger cities, like the traffic LA, the traffic patterns has changed now. It's bad both
Mm-hmm.
directions. It used to just be bad rush hour.
Right.
Now it's rush hour 24/7 pretty much.
24/7. Yeah, yeah. The more they build, yeah. Atlanta's that way.
Yeah, Atlanta's.
Oh my God.
I don't like Dallas. I don't know. Houston's not great either. I don't like the beltways and the toll roads and all that. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's where Jesse lives. And
yeah,
oh my God.
the things we do for our
Oh.
wives.
Yeah, right, right, exactly.
She wasn't going to
And
move to Detroit, and he wanted.
no, no, I couldn't get mine to go back to Michigan. She is like, nope, I can't take that cold anymore.
My wife
So
wants to buy her old house. She was up just north of Detroit, and she only wants to visit it in the spring and summer months.
she's north of Detroit. That's where I was. I was in Flint. We're from Flint,
She was Clinton Township
Clinton. I know what
in
Clinton is.
Warren, right?
Yep.
It's still in
Uh,
Warren. Her mom
yep.
worked at GM for 30 years, whatever,
Yep. Yep.
and then they moved
Yep.
to Vegas.
I don't blame them.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
my
blame.
family's from Cleveland, so
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Not too much difference.
no, everyone moves away. That's why it's funny to me. It's like everyone's so passionate about Detroit, Michigan. My family's Detroit, passionate about Ohio, but they don't live there anymore. Oh, Buckeye fans or Lions fans and Browns, but they don't live there.
Ah, but Detroit is great now. They've done
It's
a
a lot
lot to
different. Yeah.
Detroit, so it's really nice.
Yeah. My wife
Yeah.
just went back a couple months ago. See,
Okay.
see her aunt and
Okay.
took her mom back there. They're getting to
Cool.
the age where travel's a little tough. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
do it when you can.
Right.
I always tell people it's a great place to visit. I,
Yeah.
I just don't want to live there,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially in the
Yeah.
winter.
Oh yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
you get snow and get cold in Atlanta. It's just different.
Yeah, we get it, but it's not long. And
It melts.
yeah, it melts, and even the cold we get cold, but it's not long. It doesn't last long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a family member that lived see northwest of Atlanta. And
Hmm.
I went there for Christmas with my kids when they were smaller, and there was snow on the ground. And I was like, I didn't bring clothes for snow. I'm like, I thought I was in the South. And they're like, yeah, it gets cold.
Yeah, it doesn't last though. It really doesn't. We
Yeah.
get a period or two, and then it goes away.
How important is it for you guys to live near an airport? I mean,
Very important, but I hate I don't live by the airport.
yeah,
Most uh there's a ton of celebrities that live by the airport. You know, probably maybe 10 miles, if that, from the airport. But I live like 50 minutes,
but you
you
got
know. So I have a little ride because I'm in more of a country part, so I gotta come out and to the highway, then drive the highway. Yep.
and then you got traffic once you get in near the airport, usually.
Yep. But I do Uber now.
Oh, there you go.
I do Uber.
That makes it a lot
Exactly.
easier, right?
Yeah, a lot easier
You
for
don't have to
me.
pay for parking. The parking fees are crazy.
Yeah, yep, yep. In Atlanta, we have millions of people that come through here, and it's always crowded.
Always.
Hmm.
That's one thing I like about Uber versus the taxis too, is like that's my fee. If it's $40, it's $40. Doesn't matter.
It's right, right,
Yeah.
right,
Because I remember taking a cab when I got to Vegas one time, and I was like, I could have walked faster and cheaper.
right, right,
So,
right.
well, so what do you guys have coming up for the rest of the year?
Well, we're actually off.
Yeah.
The rest we do have one more show, um, December 22nd in Atlanta.
Oh, well, that's a home gig for you.
Yeah, this is home for me. So that's the only one that's on schedule as of now, unless they come up with something. But right now, that's where we're at.
But
That's,
I saw that you guys got several shows already booked up for 2024. So,
yeah, we're already half the year. We're already booked
yeah.
already for half the year
Is that
already.
do you like that, or I mean, at least you know kind of what's coming up, right?
I do.
Good for
Yeah, I
me.
do. I do. I actually enjoy being on stage.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, this it's nice to be able to perform knowing that you got shows coming. There's a lot of artists, they may get a show here 1, 2 months later,
Yeah.
you know. So we're blessed to be able to work like that.
I was gonna ask you too. Well, I got a couple. I'll get going, but I interviewed Maxi Priest, the reggae singer.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID, during the lockdowns. And it was interesting to hear him say he was getting tired of touring so much. But then when he got forced to not be able to tour, he was starting to miss it, and it's kind of you be careful what you wish for type thing. It's like,
Yeah, it never leaves your blood. I can tell you, as I talk with Henry uh sometimes, and it's still in his blood.
yeah,
He still uh it's still, is in his blood to perform, but he's right now he's more comfortable sitting at home.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I always tell people it's like I love being home, but then in the back of my head, like for me, I only get paid when I'm on the road.
Right, right.
In my head, I'm like, man, I should be doing something. I gotta. How come I'm not on the road?
Exactly.
And it's always there. I can't help it. It's like I'm happy to be
Hmm.
home, but I know when I'm on the road, I get paid. So
Yeah, it's you're at home, you relax. Like now we're gonna be off
hey, you're
probably good
with me.
6 7 weeks,
Yeah,
and I know by the third week I'm gonna be like pacing the floor a little bit.
I got 5 weeks until I have to go to the rodeo in Vegas, and
Okay.
I'm the same way. It's like I'm getting stuff done around the house, into the garage, and the car, and
Yeah.
set
Yeah.
schedule the dentist appointment, the doctor's visits, and all that stuff that I
Yeah.
put off and put off and put off.
Right.
But I know
Right.
I'm like you. About 3 weeks in, I'll be like, I need to get going.
And you're exactly. Yeah. But I love your hat. I wanted to let you know I love your hat.
I wore this for you because you you
Oh
always got
yeah.
you always got the stylish hats.
Thank you. Yeah, I love hats. I love hats. And I mainly wear them, believe it or not, I mainly wear them on the road.
Yeah,
When I'm around here, I don't really wear them much, but when I'm on the road, I like to style in them.
I always talk. Well, I sell these, so it helps.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I talked to you because I may want to work something out with you on a hat or two.
I'm gonna have
'Cause
to
I
talk to
love.
you then. I'll definitely we'll have to talk offline
Okay, all right.
because I got Jesse a pair of cowboy boots,
Oh yeah, I love those. Yeah, I love those boots.
and I got I think I got his wife some boots too.
Oh,
So
wow,
yeah,
cool.
it's all
Well,
good.
we definitely got to talk. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll definitely have some
Oh,
fun. And obviously, if you guys come when you guys come back out to California, I'm sure I'll run into you guys.
okay. Yeah, we won't miss California. We're there all the time.
And you guys, I mean, the LA County, like I said, I saw you at the LA County Fair, and then I saw you at the Coach House. But
Mhm.
you guys played a lot of dates.
Yes, we do. We do. We get them. Sometimes they will book us in a cluster of shows. Will go out for a week or 7 days doing multiple shows. And then it seems strange when we come back to one show, go home.
Yeah.
Those seem strange.
Like, what's next? You're like nothing. What?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
you're gonna be like that for the Atlanta show. You
Yeah,
have to get on a
they'll be
plane, man.
eager. They'll be eager for that show because that'll be the last one.
I'm just saying for you, you don't even have to get on a plane though. They still have to fly in,
No, I
hotel it.
don't. No, that's gonna be cool. I don't have to. Right. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the time. I'm excited to talk to you and hear about. And by the way, I love some of the your CD covers from the '90s.
Oh
Wearing the
wow.
suits and the Jerry curl. It's like it was like
Thank
a
you.
wow throwback. That was good.
Thank you. Yep. I have them. I think I got like, man, I record so much. I probably have about 5 CDs or something like that.
Yeah, that's it's just it's like a time capsule. It's so cool to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep singing. Keep bringing the music to the people. The two shows I went to, I didn't tell people I knew Jesse and all that, and I was just sitting out in the crowd, and people were just going crazy. I mean, it's just
Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have great people that follow us, and I love that
yeah,
tremendously.
yeah. And it was at the LA County Fair. That was a big crowd because that was obviously you had other. I think the stylistics were there and
Yeah,
some of the other
yeah.
groups.
Now I remember. Yep, yep.
But
Yeah,
your
I
fans love you
enjoyed that.
guys, so
Yep. Thank you.
good thing you're doing it. Appreciate it.
Okay.
So, we'll chat soon and enjoy the rest of the year. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Ronnie. Talk to you soon, bud.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.
Peace.